Oh, we have the same clock. We have the same Garmin clock.
Good, besides that.
Sorry?
No, it's Wahoo. Sorry, it's Wahoo.
It's Wahoo. Why Wahoo? Yeah. Why not Garmin?
Because on a bike I'm using Wahoo since last race in Morocco. So definitely for cycling and adventure cycling, bikepacking, Wahoo is way better. And you can pay me, I will not ride the Garmin on my bike, not in a close future.
But what are the differences? I use Garmin, it's pretty okay.
It's pretty okay, but first thing is because of maps and all these navigation routing. Wahoo is number one in the routing and GPS. So that's the first thing. And second thing is battery. It's the lifetime of one charge is way better than Garmin. And when you're riding every day, from the moment when you wake up till you go sleep, then it's pretty main thing for my bike computer.
Well, yeah, but you did charge that computer along the way, right?
Yes, because I have this dynamo front hub on my bike, so I can charge my devices like cycling computer, my phone, my bike lights, everything I need. So
that sounds pretty heavy.
Dynamo hub is like really necessary for kind of bike packing, long distance trips or races like this. So
yeah. Do you remember the time when we all had batteries that was like constantly draining, and you need to buy more and more and more, like dark ages. Yep. Now all is USB-C or like a regular USB like charged, like amazing. Yeah, so we can probably just start. Right now we have only 7 people online, but we also are recording this so everyone could listen to this while they are biking, like majority of the podcasts are listening. So yeah, we have, I can tell about our company a bit, then you can share your story.
Okay.
we are Scandiweb. We are a company that makes internet stores for like a US and Scandinavian markets. So yeah, and we are around 320-ish people right now. So, and average age is 26 or 27 years old. So a lot of young people, and a lot of young people who ride bikes. Basically, I'm the grandfather of a bike culture here in this company, because I was the first like proper enthusiast who started it all here. So I will be the guy who will interview you. So you will have to survive with my super bad English, but I guess it will okay.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah. So I have introduced you to my colleagues via email as a person who rode unbelievable amount of kilometers through the desert with super heavy bike, and a guy who has the mini drone record. And for the first part, everyone was like, okay, guy who can ride a lot. Okay, but what is a mini drone and how does it happen? I guess this could be your like first story.
Yeah, that could be the beginning of my cycling story. And yeah, I will start to introduce myself. I'm Tom Alsbergs. I'm cyclist. Yeah, I have 2 children, beautiful wife and family, everything. And I'm running my bike shop, but all this cycling scene in my life, which now I can call, I'm a kind of cyclist, but I'm not a professional cyclist. And because it was 2010 10 when I built up my first fixed gear bike. Yeah, that was the time when in Riga there were only, I don't know, 5 or 10 fixed gear cyclists in the beginnings. So I was one of them. Me and my 2 friends, we found some really old, old frame sets.
Like
Which
have a
were
Z
built.
or
Sorry.
like have a Z frames, like the Soviet ones.
Yeah, the same ones. Mine was Start Chaussee. Yeah, Start Chaussee. It wasn't even a track bike. It was Start Chaussee, which I painted, and okay, the rest of the components were kind of brand new. Few were brand new. Few were some second-hand parts, because during that time there wasn't any possibilities to go in the bike shop and choose a fixed gear bike, because you could only build your own one. So we started to build our own fixed gear bikes, and the reason why I was building it, because it was pretty good looking, aesthetic, and it was bicycle, but a little bit with twist. It rides different. There's no free hub. When you are moving, you are moving your legs and pushing pedals all the time. So we built these bikes.
Where did you get the idea for a fixed gear bike?
Google. Google. At first, my friend Ingemars, he came to me, and yeah, he already was built some really strange, some really strange fixed gear bike. He called it his first demo bike, but I tried it. It was interesting, quite interesting, and then that evening I went home and I started to Google about fixed gear. How do they look? What are the possibilities to do on this bike? Some tricks, and because in beginning there were the fixed gear freestyle was pretty popular. It was something same like freestyle with BMX, all the tricks and stuff, but you can do some few same tricks on the fixed gear, a little bit slower or harder, and it looks maybe heavier, but still you can do. And yeah, we built our first fixed gear bikes, and then there was a small fixed gear community in Riga. We had some night rides, yeah, crazy night rides actually, and we were cruising during the night. I don't know, we were cruising around 50 kilometers. It was just on the streets, like
it was that night rides that with Marisionos organized?
No.
For that even?
That was we called them like night rides, but I know those night rides which are happening right now, but that's we're not of this part of night rides which is happening right now. But yeah, and then there was year 2011 when I heard about a race in Estonia, Tallinn. There was a Red Bull mini Drome. I Googled it again. I saw there's some strange small velodrome. They said it's the smallest velodrome on the world. The architects who designed I don't know, it was the Olympics velodrome in Australia or something. The same guys built this one for Red Bull, and then was beginning for this Red Bull mini drum competition, which I tried in Estonia. It was nice weekend. Basically, it was a good time with my fixed gear friends from Riga. We visited Tallinn just for fun to check what's happening in this racing scene. And actually, we were doing pretty good even in the race. It was my first race, but in the end, I was pretty close to take a victory. But in semifinals, I made some mistake, and in the end, I became in 4th place. So, but that was a big push for me to open my Google again and to check where's happening the next race. So after 3 weeks, I bought a ticket to Poland, Warsaw, and I was traveling there by bus, totally alone. I was prepared. I was mentally preparing myself that I must go for the first place. When I arrived in Warsaw, I saw there were way different level of bikes and the cyclists at all. There wasn't 30 riders, there was already 120. In the beginning, I was a little bit scared, but when I started all those races, it's everything happened perfect for me, and in the end I was on the podium on the top. So that was the time when I gained my first victory. And the way back home in the bus, I was sitting and my phone was beeping and ringing. I had like a lot of interviews, and I was thinking, what's happening? It wasn't like a big deal for me then, but when I came back, I understood that even in sport news, in Panorama, they were mentioning my name and telling about this race. And I thought, okay, maybe my childhood's one of the dream to be in news is it's already done. So then after this first victory, I got some few first sponsors, supporters, because I said to Red Bull, I want to go further. I'm going to next mini Drome race as well, and after the next one to the next. And I knew already the schedule that there were 3 races. So I said I will go to all of those races, which was in Manchester, Edinburgh, and London, probably. Yeah. So I went there, and I got 3 more victories. So step by step, I got some name in this culture, in fixed gear culture at all, because I could go to London. It was my 4th race, and they knew my name, they knew who I am. So it was.
But what's your secret? What's your secret? How can you just show up to the 2nd race and then win like 4 races in a row, like in all different countries?
Actually, I don't know, because probably it's a new race. It's a new type of competition that's never been before. So everybody, most of the riders, cyclists are jumping in this velodrome first time. So everybody has to learn this, need some skills and learn some tactics or technique, how to ride in the corners. I don't know, probably I got this taste really fast in first races already. So I don't know. Yeah, after, I don't know, it was 3rd or 4th race, we already built our own mini Drome here in Riga. So that was my training playground almost every day. So after my first few victories, I had my training spot, and that was a big deal for me, and I could go.
as I remember, that mini drone was near Piens, right? Where is Latvia is right now here.
Yes, yes, yes. That
Yeah.
was the first location.
I'm sitting here at Brianna 9A, by the way. It's over there.
Okay.
It was over there. Yeah. I remember at that time I just started to ride the bikes. I had a like super shitty MTB bike that was a rock machine. It was weighed like 27 kilograms. Like it was like super bad, but I was like super passionate about it. I was starting bikes, and then I rolled here like, what the fuck is this? Is this a spaceship? And I
Oh
saw
yeah. Oh yeah.
dudes on like super skinny wheels, like going around, like what the fuck is happening here? Yeah, probably one of them could be you, but it was super long ago. So yeah, cool. But at the how does the competition work in this mini drone? You basically you are alone and you do a time trial, or
It starts with a qualification when every rider who has registered, who is on the list, is taking his 10 laps. Every rider has only one opportunity for qualification, and after the qualifications, 32 fastest riders go further to the finals, and then in these 32 riders are riding two riders on the velodrome, so 10 laps, everyone in opposite sides of the velodrome. So which one is first after 10 laps, that goes further. So it's like you have to win several races. Every time there's a different racer. You can see before everyone's style, how he is riding, or sometimes you get scared because you see that's kind of pro BMX cyclist who's like riding for national team of France on track or BMX. So sometimes there were like really big names, and I know they are pros. They have sponsors who are paying them. That's because they're here, and they're like earning money with this. But there's still a different story with me. It's I'm like on my own, but still winning and rocking this race, and I don't know why.
Maybe it's just luck. Maybe it's super unbelievable legs. Who knows? Who knows? But that's amazing that we have like a person in Latvia who can just show up to a race in London and kick some ass. That's super.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you also, I saw on your Twitter that you wrote in Red Hook Crit, right?
Red Hook.
Yeah.
Yes, Red Hook. Red Hook was my next step after mini drone, because in 2014, 15, I think it was, or 15, 2015, it was the last race when Red Bull organized this mini drones race. So I thought, okay, it's done. I have already like 11 or 12 victories in my pocket, and only two second places, one fourth place, and 11 victories. So I wasn't upset when the race was over, because I had a new plan for my fixed gear racing. So I switched from this 30-second sprint race to a little bit longer race, which is a criterium race. Usually there's around 30-kilometer race, which is on closed course. It depends of the city where it happens, but for example, in Milan, it was like 100% on the streets. The course is closed, of course. Nobody can cross it. but then there's on the line like 85 riders who are with track bikes. Nobody has brakes, so then there's a start signal, and the feel is like most of them are ready to die there, because it's crazy what's happening on the field. Of course, there's a lot of crashes happens. Sometimes there's a really clean races, but most often there were a lot of crashes. And in Red Hook, I've been involved in 2 bigger crashes, and 2 crashes were like we're slipping out in the corner and getting back on a bike and back in the race. So, but yeah, the crowd usually loves it because they need the blood, and it's a really impressive event when you are out there and riding this final race, which is almost in midnight, and all those thousands of people around. Yeah, it's I wasn't like top rider in the criterium races, but still I had this background from mini Drome races. And when in 2015 I tried my first fixed gear criterium race in Barcelona, I showed up there, and I had a feeling like, yeah, why everybody knows me already, because they were most of the riders, yeah, they're in fixed gear culture, and they already were following me. And I even didn't know about this, because when I went there for this criterium race, I had my favorite riders. I know who are some really strong ones and who are usually leaders, and yeah, they were usually top guys who I want to be like him. And but after those first crit races, I understood that they're kind of respecting me as well, because they knew my background, my victories in these other races. And in the end, I understood that most of those top guys in crit races, I had already raced with them on the mini Drome, but during that time I didn't know them. And yeah, on the mini Drome everybody were losing, and that's why I got some respect. I wasn't even yeah, close to the top guys for criterium, but still it was fun, and it was always a pleasure to be on the course with all of those riders, because it's a really big and strong community. Everybody knows each other, because yeah, it's a nice thing to follow all those races.
Yes, I know that Red Hook is an elimination like tournament. Basically, the last rider every lap gets away, or how does it work?
Probably no. In beginning, maybe there were rules like this, but no. The last years, usually it was like when the first group or leaders are catching up the last ones, then there is a motorbike who is swiping off everybody.
So if they get left, then
so,
they're yeah. Okay. Sounds fun. And basically, you told the good phrase that all of those people are ready to die, to die there, because I watched a couple of Red Hook videos on YouTube. And it's like insane. It's just super insane, because the feeling is that all of those guys are playing with cheat codes. honestly, because you can see how the guys are going to corners, like almost like touching with pedals where they're leaning, like unbelievable. I like brakes on the bike. It makes a lot more life easier with the brakes. Yeah.
Me either, because now I'm riding my fixed gear bike just a few times a year. So yeah, because I'm already further somewhere, so I'm not even yeah, dreaming about fixed gear racing right now, because I have some new dreams. And carrots which I want to reach.
Yeah, that's we all eventually grow out of the fixed gear, because it's like it's too risky. At some point, you have a dog, you have children, and you understand that. Okay,
Of course.
okay. Yeah, but can you tell us about that super long epic race that you did? A lot of people were asking a lot of questions, like what was the race itself, what was the bike, what was the tires, what you had with yourself, what was the weight of the bike? Well, you know the regular questions. I guess it's not the first time for you.
It's it's pretty strange when I just suddenly jumped from my fixed gear to something totally different and opposite, because one of my friend was a few years ago was writing on last year, was writing on my Facebook how it is when I'm from the smallest, shortest, and smoothest bike race. Now I jumped into the longest, roughest. It's something. If the crit race was already something opposite for the mini Drome, then now all those ultra bikepacking races, unsupported bike races, this is next level. And I don't know, probably there's nothing beyond this race for the moment. So but at first I had already for a couple of years kind of dream to do some long distance bike ride for myself. It was 2 years ago when I decided to take a bike ride from Riga to Istanbul. So I
just a regular bike ride.
just not a regular, but I was for me it was more like a vacation. But I wasn't planning to spend the time in every city and taking photos like touristing around. So my goal was to keep a pretty high speed and to get to reach Istanbul in 14 days. Yeah, that was my goal. In the end, I was in Istanbul after 16 days. But it started with with a small idea, and then one evening, already in bed, I was scrolling my phone, and I thought, okay, I need to put this on a paper. I need to get some sponsors, supporters, and after a week or two, I already got a sponsored bike for this trip journey. So that was the time when I already started to creating the route and choosing the roads and countries which I will go through to the way to Istanbul. So in the end, it was almost 3,000 kilometers through the Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, little bit Ukraine, then Romania, Bulgaria, and and finally Turkey. So that was my first like long distance bike. It's not a race, but adventure ride. One of my favorite vacations because I was totally alone with myself and all my gear, the tent, sleeping bag, food, some clothes, everything was on my bike, on my bike bags. Those are pretty specific bags attached to my bike, so nothing no backpacks and kind of these bags, but everything attached to the bike. And it's a really amazing trip. like this, because
did you prepare for it, or it was like you just riding fixed gear bikes around Riga like for 50 kilometers and then you just hop on a bike and just go to Istambul, or was there any training before that?
Already when I was preparing myself for those crit races, Red Hook, I was already riding, doing trainings on a road bike, because it's more way better than do everyday trainings on fixed gear bike, like doing 100 kilometers on fixed gear. It's not necessary because yeah, you can change the cadence or things like this, and yeah, more productive is to do these trainings and prepare myself with road bike. So it was already a couple of years when I was riding all my trainings with a road bike. So I had a trainer who is creating my weekly training plan, because every Monday I'm getting my new plan for the week. On Monday, usually I know how many hours I will spend on a bike this week. So usually per week it was around from 12 till 15 hours. And sometimes there's some yeah, different kind of trainings in yeah, workout in gym or something like this as well, because you can't only prepare yourself only on bike. You need a strength as well.
Yes.
So
when you prepare yourself for those distances, do you just as a training you ride long distance rides, or you do some intervals, or what?
Both. I'm mostly there are like interval trainings. Yeah, once or twice a week. There are long distance, long out, like 4-hour ride, which is basically to train your heart for these long distance races. So yeah, it's there are a lot of types of workouts which I'm usually receiving on Mondays, because yeah, there's one week when we're like pushing, it's like a leg week, or and then there's specific trainings for heart and like high cadence, low cadence trainings, and yeah, every week was total different.
Oh, not related to this kind of questions, but I had a lot of questions today in the office. Guys who are riding on the fixed gear bikes on velodromes, they can usually do like super high cadence, like like this. Can you do that? And how can you train it? Because usually when I am trying to do as high cadence as that, I just started to bounce on the bike, and then nothing happens. But I see people do it on YouTube. How can a regular person, regular cyclist, does it? What's the catch?
I don't know. Usually, those track cyclists, most of them are like real sprinters, professional track racers, and they are usually doing these short races, which is from 200 meters to 400. Yeah, they can do these short distances in really high power and high cadence, but a lot of those guys were trying some criterium races, and they can ride for, I don't know, 2 or 4 laps, and but there's still 25 laps to go, and after 5th lap they are like off of the race, because but it's yeah, it's I don't understand these high cadences and why it's so necessary for them, but it's specific sport. Okay. But for myself, I like to ride with high cadence as well. Okay, I can't do like the guys who you saw on the YouTube, but I'm pretty good at these high cadences as well. I like them.
But for example, if you are training for a crit race and you have a fixed gear bike and your legs get like a bit stronger, then you just swap the front ring to a bigger one, and that's it. This is how you like regulate.
Yeah. Usually we're checking the course. Okay, before every race, there's some suggested gear ratio from organizers, and then usually I was going some a little lower ratio than suggested because I like this high cadence pedaling, and it's better for me during the race because it helps me to survive all the race. Because I know there were a lot of guys who were like riding I don't know ratios which I haven't even tried. I don't need that, and I can't ride that ratio. But
like 65-11 or something, yeah. Yeah.
Not so huge, but yeah, pretty big ones.
But do you ride those races with clipless pedals, or do you use straps? I think it's
No, there's only with clipless allowed, no straps at all. On mini Drome, there were I was riding usually straps. No, not actually. Sometimes straps, sometimes clipless, but in crit races only clips, and yeah.
Okay, so let's get back on track. So you were in Istanbul.
Oh yeah.
We got
That was Istambul was my first like long distance trip, and it was like a test for myself how easy or hard it's gonna be for me to reach this city. In the end, it was pretty easy actually, because I was already prepared for some breakdowns during the trip, and my trainer said there could be the 5th or 6th day when you wake up in the morning and you don't want to get back on a bike, or you're feeling so low, and yeah, there's no power for you. But I don't know, I didn't reach this point. Every morning was like, oh yes, today back on the bike, and let's do this. So I didn't I didn't reach any low points. Maybe that was the reason why I decided to jump already in the bike race, kind of this bike packing ultra bike race, which is unsupported, usually with 3 or 4 checkpoints on the route, and yeah, there's no support, just you and your bike, and some other riders which you can meet on the road. That's it.
Hey, Toms.
Hey, Maris.
Yeah, what's up? So, question: how many flat tires does it take to get you from Riga to Istanbul?
4.
So isn't that amazing? 4. Is that I remember following your trip on Facebook and stuff, and how the hell do you get to Istanbul with just 4 flat tires with a fully equipped bike? Is there a secret, or were you cheating?
I don't know. No, there's not any secret. There's no cheating. I don't know. I was taking even a lot of off-roads, like crossing the mountains and some pretty heavy downhill rides. But even on these roads, I didn't get some flats. So my bike was... I waited in Riga, so it was 32 kilograms in the start, and then when I finished my route in Istambul, it was 26.5, something like that. Yeah.
So something fell off, or what? Like the fork?
There was 4 tubes I lost. There was some food I ate, so nothing much.
What type of bike?
Were you much fatter before you left?
No, I wasn't, because I was checking myself before and after the trip, and it was same, and I was I don't know, maybe there was something wrong with these two different sorry.
But what was the bike that you used? It was a gravel bike. It was an MTB?
It was kind of gravel touring bike, Pelago. It's a brand from Finland. So yeah, they supported me with this bike for this trip, and I was really happy. It wasn't like some lightweight bike or some really nothing so nothing fancy at all. It was like real steel frame set. I chose the mechanic brakes and I needed it really simple, because if something breaks on the road, I could fix it for myself on the road. So that's why no hydraulic brakes and stuff like this. So it was pretty simple bike, steel bike. And
you had a flat bar or a
drawbar. I had a drawbar and this
the handlebar.
TT it's like aerobar TT. Yeah. Okay. On the road, when you are sitting on a bike from early morning till late evening, you need to change your position, and there's it's even every 10 minutes you're changing your position, because after 4th, 5th day your body feels some difference.
Yeah, but you figured this out early, because I know a lot of people who just take regular mountain bikes with like flat bars, put a big ass backpack on their backs, and then cycle like first day. It is
that
like
sounds like first experience, first mistakes on bikepacking. No backpacks, never.
Yeah,
never.
No backpacks. No backpacks. Okay, so you cycled to Istambul with the bike. For example, one other question that my colleagues asked, and I also send you that question: how you get sponsors? Do you just ask, or what? What's the secret?
Sometimes you must ask, because sometimes there are some sponsors you want or you need, or sometimes there are some situations when you really need them and you don't have any extra money for I don't know, some extra parts or equipment. So but maybe for me it's a little bit easier because of my background since Red Bull. I have some connections. I have some it's I think it's easy for me to ask, because most of the brands in cycling they something knows about these races, and if they know about these like mini Drome or crit races, then they can easily Google or check out what have I done, and probably it's a little bit easier with this whole background for me to get some new sponsors. But there have been a lot of times when I have written some emails and sent them to one by one to sponsors, to potential sponsors, and you just need some right connections, the right guys who send those mails, and then probably you will get something.
Okay, so basically ask and win races for Red Bull. This is how you get sponsors. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Toms, when you won that first Red Bull mini Drome, was that what? Well, how long the Red Bull Mini Drome had existed at the time?
I think it was year. There had been two or three races before. I tried in Estonia. Yeah, probably two. The first was in London, and then New Zealand, and then already Estonia.
And I remember you had a big rival, Addison Zawada.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have met a couple of times, 2 times on the mini drome, and one was in Europe, another one was in New York. So first time was in New York, and I became in second place. No, third place, because yeah, that was semi-final when I lost him, and but then the next race in Europe, in Netherlands, that was actually the last mini drome race, and then there was the highest level, as I remember, and there were all the main riders from all over the world, and Addison Zawada as well. And I already met him in quarterfinals, because he had some bad luck in qualifications. He wasn't like in second or fourth place after qualifications, and that's why already in quarterfinals I met him early. So he was really upset when he lost this quarterfinal for me, because he was already, probably because of his location where he lives, he was racing already with a Red Bull helmet, and he had like big contract with Red Bull and things like this, and he came here to take another victory and beat me, but in the end he lost already in quarterfinals. And yeah, after that run, I knew that it's already done. This race is mine, and my main opponent is down.
Epic. Someday they'll film a movie about this. Because
probably
sounds like a movie. So yeah, about the big race. Can you tell a bit more about, for example, nutrition? How did you manage to get the nutrition right?
Like during the long distance race?
Well, yeah, during the Istambul, your trip on, and also the race, because usually it's like tricky.
It is, because every morning for me it starts with porridge. Here in Latvia, every day before I go to work, I eat porridge. So that's my main food in breakfast already for, I don't know, 10 years. And during this trip to Istanbul, I was eating porridge every morning. That was my only food. I was like my only proper food. I was carrying on a bike. So my last porridge I bought in Ukraine somewhere. So from the start there was porridge from Riga, and then somewhere in Poland I already ran out of this one. So in this side still you can buy some this similar porridge we have here in Riga, and but when you reach Bulgaria, for example, then there's already challenge to buy a regular milk, and so on the road you need to discover, and it's not easy to find some proper food on the road, because usually those are some, I don't know, fast food or some gas stations with snacks only. And if there's some proper place where I can get some proper food, then usually during the day I'm having some 2 or 3 smaller meals, some soups or something, and of course on a bike I'm having some snacks, some nuts, some bananas, water. Some days there were when I drank around 4 or 5 liters, which is fine for me. But I remember there was one day when I drank 11 liters, which is already too much, because too much water can do some damage as well. But for me and water, it's like if I want to drink, I drink. If I don't want to drink, I don't. So it's not I have 3 liters of water, I must drink it. No, if I don't want to, so I don't drink.
But what that day was like super hot, or what?
That was really hot day, and yeah, it was 8th or 9th day on the road. I don't know. My body was asking, and I was drinking. But now I realize, because it's pretty dangerous to drink so much during one day.
Well, if your body is saying that he needs it, then he probably needs it. That's a common thing that not a lot.
I think the main thing is to follow your body and your feels, because other way you will get some troubles, and we don't need that on the road.
Okay, so you're in Istanbul, so you just turn around and go back by bike, or did you use an airplane?
On the 5 days before Istanbul, I called my wife. We're not married, but in this situation, I'm calling her my wife. But she bought a tickets to Istanbul, so she was the one who was waiting me in the destination. And in same time when she got her tickets, she bought I asked her, please buy me a tickets home as well, because I don't want to stop my ride and spend few hours for searching some tickets. And so I had a company in the final destination, so we spent some extra days over there. Took some rest, and then after 5 days we were flying back home. So no cycling back. That would be too much. Probably I could do this, but I didn't have so many off days, so need to get back to work as well.
Kilometer count that you cycle per day?
It was from beginning when I was cycling through Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, when it was still flat without like mountains. Then it was around 200 till 250 kilometers per day. But then in Ukraine, there was first mountains, and when you reach mountains, I think one day there was around 110 kilometers. That was the shortest ride, with some epic climbs and epic mountains. But usually in mountains, it's around 150, 180, sometimes 200 kilometers, something like that.
Okay, and how was your knees? Like, okay, how your legs?
I had a small problem with the right leg. Yeah, because already in Poland I had some bad feelings, and it was hurting a little bit. But I did a taping on my knee, so actually, it was pretty hard to find the tape, because in those small cities, in the pharmacies, nobody knows about these tapes, and you can't buy it. But luckily, there were one pharmacy where I got it, and then in the evening, when I already set it up my my tent and sleeping place. So I took my small scissors, which was my together with my knife. So with my Leatherman, so I little bit shaved my leg with these small scissors, and then taped, and it worked out. It already in next day it was still a little bit hurting, but without pain like day before. So I already was, my mind was back in the game, and because there were few hours in previous day when I was thinking maybe this is the last day on the bike because my leg hurts, really hurts. But I fixed it, and shaving scissors, some tape can resolve a lot of things.
Yeah, but speaking racers do not shave their legs, right?
I'm one of the few racers who's not shaving legs. Yep, I'm not shaving them. I'm rebel. I'm rebel.
I have hair legs also, but I'm a roadie, so. So
it was
okay,
funny when I was on the start list, on the start line in Red Hook races. Usually I checked around all the cyclists. Yep, I'm the only one without shaved legs.
yeah, this is how it goes. And they usually look at you like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, who's that monkey?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you went back home to Riga, and then your friend texted you and asked to participate in this race, and you're like, easy, or how was it?
I had this event in my shop where I told all the stories about my experience on the road to Istambul. And there was a guy who already had participated in these bikepacking unsupported bike races. So I didn't know that there is already some Latvian who had done it a year or 2 years ago. So then step by step, I thought, okay, maybe it's time already jump in the racing scene, and maybe I should try this kind of race as well. And 1.5 years later, I was already in Morocco for the next adventure. It was already race. It was 1,200 kilometers across the Atlas Mountains. So really tough and hard race. I didn't have any expectations about the final result or final place where I could stand in the finish, but I know I had done good homework, the trainings and gym, cycling, even food, everything. I have done everything to be prepared. I had another new bike from my new bike sponsor, so I got another one. And I knew it's still the same like the bike for the previous trip. It was simple without any hydraulic brakes or electric gears or something like this. It was still simple, and the main thing, as I said, is I just need a bike which I could fix everywhere in desert or mountains. And so this time the main thing I changed, I changed for it was my first mountain bike, but the main thing I changed was tires. This time I was riding tubeless tires, and that's a thing which I'm not gonna go switch back to those tube tires with tubes. So I rode this race without any flat, without any puncture. No, probably there were a lot of punctures, but the sealant in the tires, it did all the work. And when I removed my front tire after the race at home, I counted there was 12 spikes. Probably I would have 12 flats only in front, and I still haven't checked my rear tire. I think there's the same amount of these spikes, which I got somewhere in the mountains from those small bushes. And yeah, tubeless tires, that's the must. That's the must for these kind of races. And that's you will avoid a lot of problems and yeah, save your nerves.
Okay, but how much of the experience that you had in your Istanbul trip did translate to this race? Like, if someone wants to just go for it and start riding those kind of races, probably it's better to practice at the beginning.
Practicing is one thing, but definitely you should do. Okay, don't ride 3,000 kilometers, but you should do at least 1,000 kilometer long ride. Yeah, I don't know. You can ride to somewhere, even to Poland and back, and you need this experience of carrying the stuff and how to attach them properly, and all these. Yeah, there's these small technical things. You need this experience because this experience is making you ready and preparing you for the race. And if you don't have the experience, probably you will worry too much about things. And yeah, it's the experience makes you way better during the race. And yeah, definitely. Before, if you're planning racing, you need more experience just of traveling with bags.
This summer was a race that was Velo Realitate. I guess you heard of it. It's like 380 kilometers from Estonia to Riga. So also a lot of people there took a lot of stuff with them. I was one of them, and like half of the stuff that I have taken with me on this trip, I didn't use at all. Like, how much stuff were you carrying that was not like related in any way to your ride? Like, haven't used it once.
Or okay, there are some small parts, some extra spokes or chain links, or I don't know, the tire patches, some technical things which you need, like if something happens, you can fix and resolve. Thankfully, I never had a opportunity to use one of those parts and small things which I'm carrying with me, because my bike is usually working all good. Those things, thankfully, I haven't used, but those are necessary ones. But to the first trip to Istambul, there were 2 underpanties I took, and in the end I thought, why I was taking them, because during the day when I'm on the bike, I'm not I have this cycling pants bib. There's no place for pants, underpants, so in the end I didn't need them. That was the only thing I was like carrying carrying around. But in Morocco during the race, there was nothing. I don't remember anything, because okay, there were some extra food. No, it wasn't extra. I just left. Bring back to the finish some bars, some small snacks from which I already had in on the start lane. But you never know how much food you're gonna need. Food, don't mess with food, because it's your fuel, and yeah, you need it. And of course, don't take too much, but
and what kind of people do participate in these sorts of events? Because, for example, if you are in like some crit race or like a road bike race, everyone's like super fit, super like posh, and super like angry because they want to race. But usually, when you participate in like super long endurance event, everyone is like super chilled. Like, yeah, we'll just cycle. Yeah, it will be painful. But yeah.
I don't know. Usually these guys who are riding in the front, they're really experienced cyclists. Most of them have done a lot of different cycling. They're from track cyclists to roadies, and I think there are it's there's not so many really young people. There's more like over 30. But I think these races are coming with some experience. So when you are 20, I think it's not your dream to do some long distance ride and do it alone or something like that. Yeah.
When you're 20, you need to ride fixed gear bikes.
Yes, you're building your first fixed gear and coloring it in I don't know. I had my first fixed gear bike. It was in 7 or 8 different colors. So
yeah, with like some spray pen and some dudes like garage. Yeah. We've all been there. Yep. Yeah. And usually you just ride your until your rear
tire is
close. Yeah, like you can see the cords. Yeah,
too much skidding.
Yeah. Yeah, good old days. Okay. For example, what can you like suggest to people that are wanting to do a long bike ride or a long bike race, but are not still like completely sure that they want it? You have like some pro tips, like for example, one of them: don't carry a backpack on your back. That's like super
important. That's the first thing. Yeah, no backpacks at all. I could suggest at least buy some first frame bags, bike bags for bike pack trips, and just I don't know, fill the front handlebar bag with a tent and some essentials, and do some small trips around Latvia. Go to Latgale or I don't know, Liepāja, and try 1 day or 2 day bike trips around Latvia, and then maybe do some one longer bike trip in the summer. I don't know, go to Finland, explore a little bit Finland, and then you will have this feeling when you are ready, or maybe you don't even need these kind of racing. Just travel with a bike, and not everybody is a racer, and not everybody needs it. But if you do several bike trips and you get this feeling that you might try, so go for it, and just earn some experience and enjoy every ride you're doing. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying every ride. Every ride is like real fun. I'm real excited, and that's the main thing. Yeah.
I think you can't do it any other way, because if you are not enjoying it, then why are you doing this? It's like torture. But can you tell us a bit more about how do you plan your route? Like what goes into planning? What like software do you use? Do you like use only Google Maps or Strava heat maps, or?
No, I'm using only Komoot application. even here in Riga, when or in my country house, I before I go sleep, I'm opening my phone, I'm opening this Komoot application and creating the route for the next morning. So this application allows you to explore, really explore even Latvia, because in my countryside, my every ride is total different. I'm just searching for the small villages where I haven't been, and I'm riding all these gravel roads, and sometimes there are some small off-roads and maybe even no roads, but you can carry your bike through some woods and things like this. But I'm planning in Komoot application, and from this application it's so easy to transfer the route on your bike computer. I'm using Wahoo Drome, which is brilliant, which is made for these kind of bike rides, and the battery is really good for this Rome. So that's half of the fun I'm getting from my everyday bike ride, when I'm just planning some new routes, some new villages, some unseen roads, and just enjoying. And
well, I see that I see a common theme that a lot of like me, my friends also who are riding bikes, they ride bikes and they go home and they watch on YouTube how other people ride bikes or plan routes or do something else until the legs recovered, and then it goes around the corner and sit. Yeah. Okay, maybe someone who is listening has some questions. Maris was like the most brave one just to jump into conversation. But please, I see that at least 8 of you are still listening online. No one? No one. Well, most of them are developers and they are pretty shy, so yeah.
It's okay.
So okay, I don't know. I see that already more than an hour has passed. I don't know. Maybe you have something more to share.
I don't know. Probably I could talk for a few more hours, because there are a lot of. It's a pretty big experience already, and there are a lot of things happened on the road or during the races. But that's probably some other story night somewhere when we will be allowed to meet each other and see in faces. So, but
what's your plans for the future in terms of races? What
it's
for a trip?
My first plan is to forget these ones.
Okay, can you elaborate on this a bit? Because that is not a part of a bike.
No. It was 1 month ago when I was playing ice hockey with my kids, 4 and 6 years young. We were playing ice hockey on in our countryside, and nothing happened. I just broke my knee. Yeah. So now a few more weeks on these friends, and then some recovery and a lot of stretching, and soon I'm planning to be back on bike, because already in mid of August I have a next race. Not hopefully, but probably this is gonna be definitely the hardest one, because it's in Kyrgyzstan. It's a Silk Road mountain race. Those are the same organizers who did this, who created this race in Morocco. So the same guys are. It's gonna be the third race in Kyrgyzstan, third Silk Road. So I'm going there. There's a little bit more than 2,000 kilometers. Really heavy roads. Temperature from 20 till minus 10 degrees. So there can be some snowstorms and rainstorms, everything, all the weathers and all the weather conditions. So it's gonna be really heavy. So I'm preparing slowly, but already preparing for this race. And this time I'm not gonna ride solo. I'm gonna ride in with pairs, because there's the other guy from Latvia, my friend Yanis Višķers, who's gonna race together with me. We are already approved for the race. We have we're approved, and now we are already. I was already preparing now a few weeks off, but I have still time to prepare properly for the Kyrgyzstan.
You told you are approved. Is there some approval process, or is it like open to anyone? Or
it's there's approval process. That's the same process was for the race in Morocco, because actually I did the registration. There's a really serious application you need to fill. It's about you, about your experience, about your skills, and then there are questions about things which could happen in the race, during the race, and some situation questions and things like this. For this first Morocco race, I was filling this application around 2 hours. It takes pretty a lot of time, and after when I made this application, and they didn't took me, so they said sorry, but there are too many experienced racers who are in the list, and they have some bigger experience in bikepacking and ultra race races. So I was one of who didn't get the entry at first, but there was a waiting list, and sometimes there are a few racers who are skipping in the end, or they can't make it, or I don't know, some injuries, and then there was opening few more spots, and I got another chance. So only after with my second chance I got the ticket to this first ultra bike race in my experience. So after this race, in the end, I arrived in 11th position, which was I didn't even in my best scenario, I didn't thought I will make it so good and so fast. So now it's way easier for me to fill my next applications for these kind of races, and I don't need to prove my skills and my cycling level, and they can check, okay, yeah, Tomsky, he was good in Morocco, so you're welcome to Kyrgyzstan. And but when you don't have this portfolio, then it's not so easy, because I have some friends in Netherlands and France and from Spain who wrote me after that application, the first application. They said they're really experienced guys and experienced racers, but they were off the line.
So that's basically you need to have a cycling CV in order to participate in some races. Amazing.
That's true. It's not a joke. This kind of race, when you can stuck somewhere in mountains, and there could be around minus 10 minus 10. It's pretty serious, and
especially if you're wearing just like a shirt and bib ties, and then you've got a flat tire. and that's it. That's it. You will stuck there, and you have no extra like super clothes. Yeah, it could be messy.
And there's no helicopter who's like coming and picking you up or something. You could you have this GPS tracker, and if something happens on the road, and sometimes happens, there's this SOS button, and you can push it, but you can
nothing will happen.
nothing will happen. Probably you could wait even a day or 2 days, but yeah, that's why you should push it only when there's some serious trouble with you or your health, and so because there might be some other rider who, I don't know, has some real troubles, and you have just few scratches and you're too lazy to go further. No, you can't push the button, because think about the other ones.
Yeah. Oh, and one more question. How much does it actually cost to participate in those kind of races? Of course, you have sponsors and stuff, but for like regular people, like of course you need a bike. But what other like expenses that are not that easy to figure out comes into?
Usually, yeah, it's a bike. You can get a bike, I don't know, for 1,500. Yeah, it's gonna be still simple bike, but at first bike you can get a bike for 10,000 euros, and but it doesn't mean you will go faster or you will be stronger during the road. But
not anyone understands that, because a lot of people just think that, okay, if I get like 10,000 euro bike, I will go fast. No, you won't.
No, that's not necessary. Definitely, you don't need like super light bike or frame set, super expensive, because you will have a bunch of bags and stuff you will carry, and in the end, it doesn't matter. There's gonna be definitely over 20 kilos. And my bike before Morocco, it was 26 with all the gear and stuff, and yeah.
My first bike without anything was 26.
So the bike at first, then all these gadgets, accessories, bags, and I don't know, straps and sleeping bags and tent. Then there are some main things like these dynamo hubs, dynamo lights. You can't ride 6 hours during the night with some kind of light which is on batteries, because sooner or later you will run out of all the batteries and everything, because you need this dynamo hub and everything. It's another 500 euros for sure. Then tickets, flight tickets, the registration for the race, it's usually around, I don't know, from 200 till 500 euros. It depends of the race. Yeah, you can count it. It's not cheap, but it's worth it.
Oh, well, of course, but fixed gear racing is cheaper at some degree.
Oh yeah.
Degree. Yeah. You at least don't need to put any bags on your fixed gear bike. Okay. Okay, Tom. I guess this will be it. Since no one else wants to ask any questions, and I asked all of the questions that I had on my spreadsheet. I will thank you for wasting hour and a half with us. We learn a lot, that you don't need the backpack on your back, and that your legs will survive a lot of stuff. I wish you like fast recovery, because you have some time until the race, but it will fly very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you want to tell people about your Brooklyn shop. When it will be open? I have a question. When it will be open? When I can get free coffee for 100 kilometers?
probably the coffee challenge we will it's gonna happen in spring when it's gonna be like proper warm, and everybody will take their bikes and going for the first long rides. And yeah, usually it's around the end of April, something like that. So, but Brooklyn, this week we're closed, but from 1st of March we're open again. And
the new wall. Yeah.
But our web shop, online store, it's 24/7 opened, and most of the stuff is there as well. And the workshop works even in these days when the shop is closed, because there's already a line of the bikes in the workshop. So everybody I got this feeling, there's everybody getting ready, preparing for the spring and new season. So it's happening already. I think next week there will be a lot of cyclists already on the roads, and after the long winter, the finally proper winter, everybody are dreaming about about roads, not the virtual rides on the bike trainers at home.
Yeah. I can't wait. I usually do my long rides on the Sunday, but the Brooklyn is always closed on Sunday. So I was like,
we need holidays as well.
Yeah. I have a lot of photos when I put my phone like with the straw next to your door. Take a photo with another phone. Like, come on, dude, I want my coffee. But okay, it was amazing to talk with you. We could talk for hours, I guess. Because, we could probably do some other ones of this next time sometimes. Maybe when you finish your epic Silk Road race, you will have 100% a lot of stories from that trip.
There's definitely gonna be another story evening in Brooklyn, and if anybody want to ask some questions or have some needs, you're welcome to Brooklyn. I'm there almost every day as well, and you can reach me there, and I'm open for, because today actually was a guy who called me yesterday. He got my phone number from my friend, and he came to me today, and he was asking for my experience for long distance rides and all the gears and equipment, because he's planning a bike ride from Riga to Rome in this summer. And it was interesting because I didn't know this guy before, and he's like he has ambitious and it's all good, but he's planning to do this route with a mountain bike. That was the first thing I was asking. Are you really planning to ride
on asphalt?
Yep, on tarmac, on with the mountain bike. And then he has like a really huge and wide saddle, which is usually not for long distance.
For like 20 kilometers.
Then he was planning to ride without helmet. I was asking, are you are you idiot, or what's wrong with you? Why? And he had some thoughts about it, but I wasn't satisfied with his answers, and I was no. If you're gonna ride without helmet, then no support from my my side. But ambitions are high for this rider. He was already prepared a list with questions and things he wanted to ask me, and probably he got a lot of information, and I think he's now sitting home and replanning some things and some gear which he's taking with him, and things which need to be changed and or removed. So there are a lot of like small things which you can earn only with experience. And if nobody tells you about these small things before, then you will learn them on the road. But there are a few things which better learn before.
Yeah. My friend built his first fixed gear bike some like 2 years ago, and he's like calling me like, dude, I can't understand. As soon as I started to ride, my rear chain, not the chain, but how's it called? Cog, yeah, falls out. I don't understand why. I was like, okay, you probably have a flip-flop hub. Try to like turning like your wheel on the other side and then screw it. He's like, I already did it, but there's like nothing. I don't understand. I was like, okay, where are you? He's like, I'm somewhere like here in Delhi Snack in Riga. I was like, okay, go to Brooklyn. There will be probably guys there who can help you. So he went. There were a couple of guys in your shop, and there was like, dude, this is a lock ring. You need to put it on the cog, and then it will help. That will help.
Then it will be fixed. It's not fixed without lock ring.
Yeah, but my friend was like on the verge of selling a bike. He's like, that shit doesn't work.
Yeah, but these things happen really often, and it's every day in Brooklyn. You just see these things every day, and it's kind of normal. But it's good when everybody has some small experience, even fixing their bikes or learning how to change the tube, inner tube. Some basics.
My other friend also, he built a bike from scratch by himself using the Chinese frame, and he had I know how it's called, when you have the steering and then you have the frame. Do you have that hub, or I know how it's called, that goes into the frame and connects the steering post? Like
it's I know what you mean. It's
Yeah, so basically he had the wrong diameter. He had like 2 millimeters or 3 millimeters shorter than he needed, and every time that he like moved on the bike, there was like dun 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 dun, because the fork was hitting the inside of the frame. He also went to your shop, and the guys ordered the correct one size, and they fixed it also. It's pretty cool. Yep. So everyone go there, and you will get like.
Actually, he was riding without the bearings in this for his fork.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that happened. Okay, Tom. I won't hold you any longer. Go to Brooklyn, people. Ride bikes and stay safe.
Stay safe.
Okay, Tom. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the conversation. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.